Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's webinar, What's New with AERA? Thank you for joining us today. I am Amanda Goyette. I am an admin assistant here with AERA, and joining me is my colleague, Rob Monroe.
Hey, everyone. Yeah, Rob Monroe here. I look after membership and technical development at AERA, and I want to welcome you to today's webinar. Pretty excited. We haven't had one of these webinars for about a year now, so looking forward to kind of showing you what's new with AERA. We're going to go through PROSIS Pro a little bit, going to show you some updates. We got some pretty cool stuff happening there. And yeah, it's been a really busy year for us. We've got a lot of new programs in place, going to show you some of those, and look forward to kind of showing you what's coming up for next year as well. So a lot of you that are on today are probably members. So a lot of you are going to recognize some of these programs and benefits that I'm going to go through. And hopefully on some of these slides, you're going to see some programs and benefits maybe that you aren't aware of and that you'd like to take advantage of. And we'll just take a few minutes to do that here first. Of course, Engine Professional Magazine, this fourth quarter edition is hitting mailboxes now. So you should be starting to see that in your mailbox here in the next week or so. And this one's loaded with all kinds of good stuff. We did our engine build. So Baldwin Racing Engines, Jeff Baldwin out there did our engine build. So on the cover, and I'll go through this here in just a little bit, this is the engine actually that we're giving away this year at PRI. So you'll be able to purchase tickets for this one. It's a supercharged big block Chevy, so really looks good on the cover. We did a write-up about it in Engine Professional Magazine, and we did a cover of the build, so pretty cool. For those of you that are on today, and maybe some of you aren't getting Engine Professional Magazine as a printed edition and you'd like to, just let us know. Put that information in the questions box. Amanda can get your contact information from you, and then what we can do is get Engine Professional over to you. So make sure to do that. We'd like you to get the subscription. It's a great printed copy, so do subscribe, and it's free of charge to you. So let us know if you aren't getting that, and we'll get that over to you. If you want to read any archived editions, so maybe there was an article that you remember that was in Engine Professional, maybe 5 years ago, you remember seeing something about bore finish or something like that. If you go out to our website at engineprofessional.com, you'll see that there are archived editions. We keep every copy of Engine Professional in our website, and you can go back and read any of those articles. So they're there for you to have a look at. And also, if you want to read the digital version of Engine Professional, even this fourth quarter edition, go again to our website, and you'll be able to do that. And if you don't want to wait for your printed copy, you can go over to the website, and then you'll be able to actually read the digital copy. So it's there for you to check out. Another thing that we got on the go, we do an Engine Professional podcast. So Steve Fox and Chuck Lynch, they're techs here at AERA. They cover all things related to, they do some business stuff, they do some machining procedures. They basically share their knowledge on the podcast, and it's really cool. They got some good stuff to listen to, and it's about an hour long typically, so it's good for a ride home from work, or you're in the car and you got to kill some time. It's great to put on and have a listen. So if you go to our website at aera.org, you can have a listen. It goes right to the podcast. You'll see the little tab there on our website to do that. So make sure to check that out. Our online training program, we've got some new exciting stuff coming for 2024. We've just updated this program, and we're going to have a completely new book that's coming out here first part of 2024. And this is, for those of you that remember sort of the ASE machinist certification, this was going back about 10, 11 years ago now. We kind of took this over because ASE ended up dropping their machinist certification. And so we felt it necessary to not only create a testing program for engine machining, but to also create a program that you could learn from. So it's both theory and testing. So it's great for, let's say you've got a new hire that's come into the shop that doesn't have a lot of theory yet under their belt. You can take our online training program, and it basically starts you from scratch and teaches you all of the engine theory. And when you're done, you get your engine machinist certification as well as your cylinder head machinist certification. So it's only $150. It includes the training manual and the book. You have 1 year to complete it. So you have 1 year to get through, and there's 18 chapters to go through. There's a test after each chapter, and then 2 final exams. So like I say, that it's if you're a new hire, or a lot of the schools are using it in their automotive curriculum now, they're using our program. And if you are a school that's on today, it really is great because you don't have to reinvent the wheel. It's not like you're having to create a curriculum yourself. You can use ours. And then what happens is it frees you up for more time in the shop. So what a lot of schools are doing is they're letting the students do this at home. So they're doing our online training program on their time at home, which means when they come to school, it's freeing them up so that they can have more shop time. And of course, that's what most kids want. Of course, is they want more shop time for sure. Custom training, this is another benefit that we have through AERA if you're a member. And so Chuck Lynch runs this program, and basically he can come to your shop. He can help with things. Maybe you're trying to set up a new machine. Maybe you've got a particular process that you're trying to finalize, maybe something to do with failure analysis. You're trying to set up some tooling and fixtures. Chuck's really good at all that stuff. Chuck comes from a production engine background. He also comes, he was a Rottler tech for many years as well. So he's very familiar with most equipment that's out there. He can get it to help you get it dialed in. I know he's gone to shops maybe that have had some issues with, valve seat concentricity, for example, chatter, that kind of stuff. And what Chuck can do is he can come in and get it all dialed in, and also help train your technicians as well. Because what's happening now is we're all so busy. Shops are busy. Most shops are still backed up 3 or 4 months before they can get the jobs out the door. So training has become very difficult. And so what Chuck could do is I can come to the shop and help train your technicians. And this is our custom training program. You do have to be a member to take advantage of this. And what you can do is just go out to our website. There's more information there on it, and you can check that out. So or call Chuck directly, and Chuck can help you there as well. We've got our Engine Rebuilders Educational Foundation, so the EREF. And this is the grants and scholarships portion of what we do here at AERA. And for example, we've got the engine that we're giving away here at PRI, that big block Chevy that I showed you in that first slide. All the proceeds from that engine is what helps fuel this EREF. We also get lots of help from our manufacturers and from our vendors, and all those monies go into this scholarship and grant program. So you can use it for things like, maybe you've wanted to always attend one of our tech and skills conferences or one of our regionals. Maybe you wanted to bring a couple folks from the shop. So you can do that, and simply by just going to our website, you'll see there's all the information there on how to apply for it. And it is a great program. There's also, if you're in school and maybe you've wanted to take, I'll give you an example. Maybe you want to take a welding course or something related that's going to help you in school or help you at the shop. Those grants and scholarships are there for you to take advantage of and do that. So go to our website for that. Have a look at how to apply for those. There is money there available. There's even a large grant. It's our Bill McKnight scholarship that we have. It's a large amount, and it's definitely worth checking into, and check that out. It's free money there for you. You just need to apply, take advantage of it, and figure out a way that you can best use those monies. So have a look at that. All right, so those two that are members or that have just recently joined us, you'll notice that you are put into what we call our membership giveaway draw. So we do this every quarter, and right now our October to December giveaway draw is the Goodson valve spring tester. And so anybody that's going to start there, if your membership is coming up for renewal between October 1st and December 31st, your name automatically goes into that draw. If you're a new member that joined us between October 1st and December 31st, your name also goes into that draw. And so a lot of our vendors help us out with prizes like this Goodson tool. It's a pretty cool deal. It's generally when we look at who can get a chance to win one of these, the numbers are pretty good. Your chances are really good to win this prize. So have a look at that, and that's what we call our membership giveaway prize. So again, more information is on our website for that. It's aera.org, and you can check out that information as well. So have a look at that. Another member benefit that we would like to bring up, these are corporate sponsors of ours that help us out. And, if let's say you're looking for somebody to help you with some freight discounts or credit card processing, or maybe you're in the market for a new computer, or you're going to rent a car. If you go to our website under corporate partners, you're going to see all of who we have listed there. So, SAB Transportation, for example, these guys are excellent at doing cores. So I know a lot of our shops are using SAV or SAV to be able to ship engine cores, and they have really good discounts available to do that, because of course cores are not easy to ship. Also shipping complete engines, SAV is also very good at that. We've got our UPS savings programs. Again, credit card processing basis, great program. These folks are really, really easy to deal with. They just get a little bit of your information and figure out how they can best help you, and what they can do is help save you money. And everybody knows, especially if you're owning a shop, credit card processing it's big dollars at the end of the year. So if you any kind of savings there, whether it be a 0.5%, 1/4%, this really adds up when you think about it. So that's another one. And again, in the last year or so, we've added a couple more. So we've got, again, computer, Lenovo. We've got rental cars. So definitely check that out. Have a look at that part, and see where you can save some money there. And like I know, like Lenovo and those guys, I mean, they do right now. They're probably getting ready for a Thanksgiving promotion. You'll see when sometimes in our social media stuff or in our e-blast, you'll see where we're promoting certain things. But definitely have a look at that. It's worth checking out. All right, so like I mentioned, we've got lots on the go coming up, especially we just finished the SEMA show. Both Steve and Chuck were out there. And so our next big event now coming up, of course, is PRI, and looking forward to seeing everybody there. And at PRI, the day before this year, we're going to have what we call the Engine Professional Industry Conference. And this is basically being presented by Motor State Distributing. What it is it's similar to like our regional, only it's like that on steroids. So what it's going to be is we've got 4 really good presentations that we're doing. Randy Neal of CWT Industries, Dan Bagley of Mala, Lake Speed Jr. of Total Seal, and Ben Strader of EFI University are all going to be there. Throughout the whole day will be the technical presentations. It's only $50. It includes breakfast, it includes lunch, and of course all 4 presentations. It's going to start at 7:30 a.m. on December 6th. So that is that day before PRI. So if you're planning on coming to PRI, make sure to sign up for Epic and get in there. It's you do have to sign up. You'll go to our website. You'll see there's a huge Epic right on our homepage of our website. You can go right online and sign up there. And again, it's only $50. So again, if you're thinking of bringing the shop maybe to PRI this year, bring them a day early, and definitely check this out. It's going to be a great program to look into. Also, while you're at PRI, of course, those that have been there before know we have our VIP party, and that's on the Friday night right after the show closes at 5 o'clock. And that's on December 8th this year. So there's no cost to attend. We just need you to RSVP so we can get a head count, so we know how many people are coming. And we definitely want you to check that out. It's kind of a great wind down. I think a lot of folks, I mean, we really enjoy it because it gives us a chance to, typically when the show floor, there's a lot going on. It's busy. You're trying to get around and get all the business done that you can. But this just gives you a chance to maybe have a beverage in hand, roast beef sandwich, and just kind of kick back, relax, and still maybe network a little bit and share the day. So again, you can go to our website to register for the VIP party right there at aera.org. Get signed up for that if you're coming to PRI. Like I mentioned, we've got the big block Chevy engine that we're giving away, and Jeff Baldwin of Baldwin Racing Engines did this engine for us, and this thing is super, super sweet. 565 cubic inches. It basically it's just getting ready to go on the dyno, so we don't have any dyno numbers quite yet. We're going to have those here shortly, and like I say, being supercharged, this thing's going to be a beast. And this is going to be on display at PRI, so this will be in our booth if you want to come check it out. You can purchase tickets now, so if you want to go to our website at aera.org, you can purchase tickets. It's $20 for a ticket, and actually you get 10 tickets for $20. So the chances are pretty good. And again, there's well over $20,000 worth of parts in this engine, and all the proceeds go to the EREF. So make sure to grab your ticket and get that, and you'll see this engine at PRI. So we're looking forward to that. All right. Well, like I mentioned, we just did a huge update to PROSIS Pro, and that's one of the things that we've been working on here for 2023. And we got all these updates that have gone live. One of the big things that we're doing with PROSIS Pro is every week, all of us techs here, we put new engines in. We're always updating the information. So those of you that are maybe using PROSIS Pro, and sometimes you call us on the tech line, and perhaps you're looking for maybe a main housing bore that wasn't there. You saw that it was blank. All week long, basically what we're doing is when we find that information for you, once we find it, we upload it into PROSIS, and get that in there. So with that, we've also put in, again, we're over 14,000 engines now listed in PROSIS Pro. So we're really trying to cover the spectrum. We've done a lot of our international members that are on today. We definitely have made a huge effort to be purchasing a lot of the international engines that we don't typically see here in North America. We're putting those engines into PROSIS Pro, so we're getting those in there, and really trying to expand our database of PROSIS. So this is ongoing. Our goal is to try and reach 1,000 engines a year. So, by come 2000, the end of next year, we hopefully be up to 15,000, and we kind of do that every year. So, looking forward to that. So, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to just jump out of here, and I'm going to go over to live screen here just for a second. And what we'll do is just move this out of the way and go like this. And I'm going to jump into PROSIS Pro here just for a second. And I'm going to show you some of these updates and kind of show you what's going on. So I'm not going to do a full review of PROSIS Pro. I'm not going to do like a complete we have tutorials that we've done before in the past. And you can go out to our YouTube channel for that, actually. And Amanda's going to show you where to get that YouTube channel and how to find it. And all the tutorials are there, and everything that we've done for what we call an introductory to PROSIS Pro, as well as an advanced version of PROSIS Pro. We've done webinars on those. So I'm not going to totally go through everything on PROSIS Pro today. I'm going to kind of more highlight the updates and some of the questions that we get on the tech line as to where to find stuff in PROSIS Pro. The other thing, like I mentioned, if you do need a tutorial, like if you've joined us today and you've never used PROSIS Pro, or you want to try to, sort of learn, you can just go to this tutorials tab right here, this little button that I've got my mouse on right there, and you'll be able to see PROSIS Pro. There's several like YouTube style videos there. Steve Fox kind of goes through those and shows you how to use PROSIS Pro. So you can do that right there with that tutorials button. The other thing that I'll mention too that I forgot to here with the previous slides, on your control panel, Amanda's put in there 2 handouts. So on the handouts, you've got the Engine Professional Industry Conference handout, as well as the to purchase tickets for that engine. So again, over in your control panel, you'll see kind of like 2 little, you'll say handouts, and if you drop that down, there's 2 PDF files in there, and you can have a look, and it has all the information on that EPIC conference as well as our engine. So have a look at those. Okay, so for those of you that do use PROSIS Pro, you've probably noticed a few things have changed. So on the dashboard, one of the first things you've probably noticed maybe is we've added this engine article, this little blue tab right here. And so what that is we thought instead of also having bulletins like we normally do, so when you go into an engine, and let's just do this here real quick. So I'm going to poke around, and we'll do some live screen stuff here. So let's just go into an engine. So right now you're used to using this bulletins tab, and you'll kind of go in there, and if you go back to the engine here real quick, we'll click on the engine. What's going to happen with this engine article tab? So this is brand new, and you're also going to have articles from Engine Professional in there. So we're just starting to load all the articles now. You'll have to give us about a month or 2 here, and we'll get all the articles in there from Engine Professional, and we're going to try and specify them in the engine. So when you go to open up an engine, let's say it's the Duramax LB7 that you're in PROSIS Pro looking at, you're going to see an LB7 article in there, and it'll be very simple. You'll just be able to hit the view button, and it's going to open up the Engine Professional article. So we thought this would enhance the program a little bit, because sometimes a technical bulletin just isn't quite what you're looking for. Maybe you're looking for more of an article that was covered and that was written. And we get this on the tech line quite a bit, where folks will say, you know what, I remember seeing some about that LB7 Duramax in an article somewhere, and I'm wondering where I can find that. So we thought this would be a great enhancement to put that in PROSIS Pro. And again, that's just that engine article tab right there. So you'll be able to click that, go down to the article that you're looking for, and simply click it and be able to do that. So That's one of the new features there that you've probably noticed on your dashboard. When you click dashboard, another one that you see here, we've kind of changed the log out. You could log out of the program. This is that button right there to do that. We always encourage that when you're finished with your lookup, or hit that log out button when you're done. That allows other folks in the shop to be able to, maybe they're going to try and go in with a different computer or something like that. And if you're logged out, it'll allow them to do that without having to, try and hit that, button that, or you've probably seen that pop up that sometimes comes up that says, you need to log in again or log out or that kind of thing. So just remember, that's where your log out button is, and that's kind of the shape of it right there and what it looks like. All right, so Engine Articles tab, the log out button. You notice here we've added this wording right here: for best search result, select minimum criteria. And the reason why we did that is we take quite a few calls on the tech line where folks have tried to look up an engine and they get 0 results. So we'll get the call and they'll say, yeah, I know it's an engine that probably exists. I mean, it's a pretty common engine, but I just can't find it in PROSIS Pro. It says 0. So we call it the rule of 3. And what we would encourage you to do is only put 2 to 3 inputs in here into your search. So let's do this, for example. Let's go with, like when you're looking up an automotive engine, for example, so something in a vehicle, if you just click the make, and let's just go down and choose like Chrysler. If you choose the liter size, let's say we choose a 4.7, and let's say we choose a year of 2003. Make that your only search. Only those 3 things, and you're going to get the best results for PROSIS Pro. You're going to see, and I'm the kind of person, when I'm in PROSIS Pro, I don't want it narrowed down to the point where I can't find it. I want to see all the results I can, and then what I can do is I can go in and pick and choose what I want there. So you can see here, it's basically picked 8 results for you. And you can see all the 4.7s for 2003 in a Chrysler. And now it allows you to pick which one you want. So just remember that rule of 3, and that's what we mean by minimum criteria. When it comes to an industrial engine, actually only 2 inputs I find work the best. So let's say, for example, and let's clear this real quick. And let's say we're going to do a Caterpillar, for example. So if you just click Caterpillar as the make, and what's really nice about industrial engines is typically they all are classified by engine code. Year doesn't necessarily apply because industrial engines, you're going to see them in generators, you're going to see them in water pumps, that kind of stuff. So generally year isn't applicable. So just remember the make, and then go over to engine code. And like I say, industrial is really good. They have specified engine codes for the engine. So if we go down to like a C15 and search it, it's going to give us all of the C15 lookups. So there's 2. There's the ACERT and of course the regular C15. So that's what you want to do for a lookup. Keep it down to a minimum of 2 or 3 when you're adding this information. I know sometimes you go, well, why don't I just put, like it's a Ford Ranger and it's 02 and it's a VIN code 5. You got to keep in mind that this program is used internationally. So not only is, someone in South Africa, for example, that engine that you're looking, let's say it's a 2.3 in a Ford. Well, the engine is applicable internationally, but the model's not. So if you go and click Ford Ranger, well, it may not be a Ford Ranger in South Africa. So that's why we try to encourage you to stick with just the make, just the size and the year, and keep your lookup that way, and you'll have the best result. Another new feature, another update, you'll notice that we've added this little drop down here. It says fuel. And again, I'm going to show this as an example. So sometimes you want to just see, you're a shop that only works on diesel, not necessarily gas, and you just want to see what's out there for diesel. Well, let's use Volkswagen as an example. So if we go down and we go Volkswagen and we click it, and maybe you know that it's a 2-liter that you're working on, so you choose 2-liter, and you know that it's a 2015. Well, here, if we search it just under a regular search, without specifying what fuel. 66 results for Volkswagen, because there are a ton of gas and diesels for Volkswagen, and even in 2015. So rather than sitting and thumbing through 7 pages of lookup, what you can do now, and this is a new update, is use this drop-down arrow. Go over and let's say you know that this is a diesel. So let's just update that as a diesel. Okay. Well, that brought us down to 27. That's realistic. I mean, I use Volkswagen because I know on the tech line, Volkswagen has a ton of different engine codes, different models. So I'm using this one just as a really good example. It'll narrow it down even further if I don't use this particular Volkswagen. But you can see here, just by narrowing it down by fuel, it's helped your lookup. What happens if we go to gas only and we search that? Okay, narrows it down to 39. So you can see there that you've got 39 different choices now to go through, but it helps narrow it down. So you can do gas, you can do diesel. It defaults to fuel, so it's going to default automatically, so it's looking at both, but you have the option to do the drop down, and then you can see just what you're looking up there. So another little handy feature for your lookups. You'll probably notice, and let's go to an engine here real quick, maybe one that we've already. And you notice that I'm hitting this engine spec, this particular tab here. And the reason why I'm doing that, for those of you that aren't aware, all of your recently viewed engines are right. It always looks it up for you. So let's say one of your techs was in the computer here earlier this morning, and then you looked up an engine, and then you wanted to come back, and the tech got back in the way again, and now you're like, oh, I got to put this 350 Chevy. You got to load up all the information again to find this engine. Well, actually, you don't. If you just hit the engine spec button, it's going to automatically go to all the recently viewed engines that were previously looked up. So it saves you having to do it. So you can literally just go into the last engine that you looked up and kind of do it that way and scroll down and figure out which one that you were looking at. So it's really, really handy that way. So if we click on it, of course, we're into the engine now that we were looking at before. And you'll notice now a couple little things have changed with some of the updates that we've done. You kind of see these little, I'm going to call them quick drop down buttons. And they'll be there for all the different, crankshaft, connecting rod. So a lot of us are pretty used to, let's say you wanted to look at the valve spring information when you were in the cylinder head tab. Of course, we use our little mouse and we scroll down and we go down to valve spring. It's really easy to use. I mean, it's simple to do that. It doesn't take a lot of time. But now once you get if you want to try and save time, just hit the valve spring button there and it'll take you down to the valve spring. You'll also notice here on my screen, there's this little red up arrow. So if you click that, it takes you back to the top of the page. So it saves you having to use your mouse to scroll up and down. You can do the same thing. You want to look at the rocker shaft information. Okay. You can use that quick drop at the top there, those little buttons, and we can use this little arrow to go back up. So again, just tries to help speed things up a little bit, just trying to save you time, and it'll do that with all these different. So you go into cylinder block, rather than scroll down, you want to look at the sleeve information, just boom, just hit cylinder sleeve, and it's going to take you down to that sleeve information. Of course, being a 350 Chevy, there is no sleeve information on this lookup, but that's why it's there. So, and it'll do it with all the different ones. So camshaft, all of it, torque tune-up, you want to go down and look at something, boom. So just, again, to save you time, get used to playing around with those features and have a look at that. Here's another one that we're really, we use this a lot on the tech line, and because we get lots of calls where somebody's looking for a particular casting. They've got a casting number or they've got a component in front of them, but they really they don't know what it fits. So we try to help them do that. And I'm sure in the shop, you get the same thing. I know before, parts drivers used to bring the stuff in. We haven't got a call yet from the customer. The parts driver drops this blob off in front of you, this big lumpy oily something. It's a crankshaft, but you have no idea what's out of. You're trying to find more information about it. And sometimes casting number just doesn't cut it. Sometimes the casting number it's too dirty, or a lot of times the casting number is wiped away. So in PROSIS, you're pretty used to using this casting search, and you've probably done this before. I'll quickly just do it here for you. you can see that the last three digits are, let's say, 8882. We're going to say that it ends with, and we know that maybe this is a cylinder head, and we search it, and PROSIS Pro finds every particular casting number on a head that ends in 882, and there's 58 results there. So that's one way to do it, but sometimes that casting number just isn't there. And we've had this feature here, this is search component by size. It's been there already. This is not an update, but what I'm going to show you is we've updated how it works. So for example, you've got this couple components in front of you. You have no idea what it fits. You don't find any good casting number information. So now you're kind of digging out the mic and the caliper, and you're actually starting to measure stuff up and trying to figure stuff out. So here's how this works. You notice that at least you can see that there's a Chevy emblem on it. So, okay, that makes it a little bit easier. We know that whatever we're looking at, all of this stuff that's in front of us, that's all dirty and oily, we know that at least it's a Chevrolet. And we're going to start off with probably one of the easiest things to measure, I find, is on the cylinder head. So I grab my caliper, and I'm going to look at the cylinder head, and I'm going to measure valve head diameter first. And I can quickly do that. And let's say I measure that it's 1.50, and I search that. So now what PROSIS Pro is going to do is it's going to find every Chevrolet that we have listed in there with a 1.500 head diameter on there. 135 results, over 10 pages worth. Okay, we can do better. Like that's a lot of searching and messing around. Okay, dig out your caliper again, and okay, this was the exhaust valve that we measured. Well, let's update this and throw in the we're going to throw in that we're going to look at the intake valve, and let's say the intake valve measures 1.940. So let's search that some more, see what happens. Okay, this is the update here for you. What we can do now is we can add more searches into the lookup for the casting. So here we've narrowed it down now to 40. So we're getting there. Okay, so let's say, for example, now you want to try and narrow it down even further. And maybe you've got the connecting rod in front of you. Well, pretty simple. Just go to connecting rod and go to the big end bore. And you quickly measured it, and it's 2.225 for an example, and we search that. Okay, that's getting better. Now we're down to 17 results, so that's getting better. And you can see here, it saves all of the information here, so you can see where you're at. So we've got a valve head diameter 1.500, 1.940, also on the intake 2.225 for the big end of the rod bore. And we can just keep going with this. I mean, you could literally try to narrow the search down, but at least at 17, I've only got 2 pages to go through, and it pretty much has narrowed it down to what 350 am I working on. And from there, you can literally just go right into the engine. So you can see how it goes gray when you hover on it. Simply click on it, and now you're into the engine. So that's in that casting lookup. So that's another little cool thing to make make everybody's lives a little bit easier. And because sometimes we can't just rely on casting numbers, we've got to rely on actual physical measurements to try and find what we're looking for. So another little cool feature. One of the calls that we take on the tech line also is folks that are looking for like pre-printed work orders, or there may be engine build sheets and that kind of stuff. So this has been in PROSIS Pro before, but I thought I would just highlight this for you. If you click the Shop Tools tab, you can see here you've got a Worksheets and a Download Worksheets tabs right here to use. It's right in the same area that you'd see the calculator, and I've showed this before. So if we go to Worksheets, you can see here right on Worksheets, there'll be a new build sheet, new deck height, new cylinder head check. So these are the online, like these are basically what I call online. So you can go right online and edit these, and then go ahead and print them. So, for those of you that like to maybe not use pen and paper and you like to do everything on computer, you can do these. All these worksheets are right here for you. So again, it's over here where the engine calculator is. So you've got worksheets that you got cylinder head ones, You got, sorry, let me go back to worksheets here for a second. Sorry, you got new engine build. You can also go back and new deck height. That's one there for you, as well as there's a complete engine build one here. So new cylinder head check. So let's say a cylinder head's come into the shop. You can literally put who the customer is. You can go ahead and put all the different information, valve spring information, everything in there, what the spring's measured out at. Go ahead and do this all on, a lot of folks do this with an iPad. So we have a lot of shops that have a mobile device of some sort, and they literally can do this right on the iPad or on their, they've got a tablet of some sort. You can even do it on your phone, but then you've got a way to print it, which is kind of cool, and you can print that off. Those are the ones that you can edit right online. As far as ones that you can download, we've got those too. So let's say you're looking for an engine build worksheet. So if you just click that, we've got an engine build worksheet. So this is one that you can print and basically go ahead and write in there by hand and do it that way and take it with you. So those are there to use as well. And they're in that Shop Tools tab right there. Other stuff to show you here. I'm going to go into an engine here real quick. We have moved the, we've actually not moved, but added. We take lots of calls on the tech line for folks that are looking for rod to piston orientation. And I know we're all used to looking in diagrams. So if we go, let's say on this particular Chev, this 350, and I've clicked diagrams, you probably see that there's no diagram there that shows piston to rod orientation. But if we go into the engine spec, and let's say we click cylinder block, and we scroll down, okay, again, no rod to piston orientation. So I'm going to choose another engine here real quick, and we'll find that. And I'll just show you what I mean here. Okay, so diagrams, nothing. And we go into engine spec. It's going to call me a liar. Yep. I'm going to got to find the right engine here first. So let's go into, let's say, a Ford. And let's say we're looking at a 302. We search that. Let's say we choose this particular truck. All right. There we go. So we're used to looking at diagrams and seeing piston to rod assembly, and we can see that. You can highlight those, we can print it, we can zoom in and that kind of stuff and see where that is there. But another place to look is in the cylinder block section. We always have it in both, because sometimes in a service manual, it doesn't give us a diagram, it only gives us the wording. And so you'll find it in here. So in the block section under piston, it'll say piston to rod assembly orientation. So it says rod bearing tangs to the inside. So that's listed there, and you'll also find it in connecting rod. That's the new update. We've got it both in the block section and in the connecting rod section. So you'll see here rod bearing tangs to the inside. So get used to looking there. If you don't see anything in diagrams for piston to rod, just go to your engine spec and look in cylinder block and connecting rod, and it's a pretty good chance that you'll see it there and have a look. Another thing that I want to show you, the PROSIS Pro that we've just updated, we're calling this our favorites. So you'll probably notice this little star right here. When you're in an engine, there's probably maybe some shops have like their 10 favorite engines that you work on when they come in, and you'd like to be able to just go to those every time without having to quickly look them up. So you'll see here, if you hover your mouse over the star and you highlight it, you've just made that one of your favorite engines. So now if you want to find it, you simply just hit this engine spec tab. And what you'll see here is you click my favorite engines, and now you can see all your favorite engines that are listed there. So there's that Ford that we were just talking about, this 302 that I just highlighted. So that's one way to do it, and you can get your favorite engines that way. Another way to do it is you literally, let's say we're going to look up an engine, for example. So let's say it's a this particular Austin, and we're looking up like a 1.2, and we search that. Okay, you'll notice here when you go to on the lookup, when you first get in there, it's right next to you. You got your technical bulletins, your procedures, your diagrams, and now you see this star, and that there is where you can click favorite engines. So it's just a matter of clicking it, and it'll turn it into a favorite, and we can, go to dashboard again. If you want to find it, just hit that engine spec tab, and what it'll do, it's going to bring up all your recently viewed engines, but right there where it says my favorite engines is where you'll see where to find that. So that's a great place to look. Another little handy feature there, and that's an update as well. One more thing I want to show you, maybe that, and we kind of hinted on it here. We said procedures. So you'll notice in PROSIS Pro, a lot of things that we're getting now, especially timing diagrams, it's just not feasible to do it with just an image. You can't, like this Chevy Cruze, for example, and we'll look at this one. It's more than just a dot-to-dot diagram. And what we need to do is actually have the procedure for it. And we're getting more calls on this where, it's like a 5 or 6 page procedure now to be able to go through and time this stuff. So if you go into this particular engine, like this Chevy Cruze, you'll see here, get used to looking in the procedures tab, and that's where you're going to find a lot of the timing information. So if we click the procedures, you can see here, it's timing belt, and if we click it, it's actually going to open up and allow you to print it or view it. And it's, like I said, this one's a 9-pager, so pretty long on how to time this particular Chevy Cruze. So that's one thing to look at there, and get used to looking in those procedures. And as time goes on, we're adding more and more. Every time we take a call on the tech line for somebody looking for timing information, we try to create a procedure for it and put it in PROSIS Pro. So do keep that in mind, and that's there for you as well. So I basically covered what I wanted to as far as the updates go. Like I said, I didn't want to make this a full tutorial of PROSIS Pro. I can do that for anybody. If anybody even wants a little private tutorial, any of us on the tech line, if you call us and you're needing help with trying to find something, or we can take 10 or 15 minutes with you just to help you get familiar with all the features of PROSIS Pro. We don't mind doing that on the tech line. We want you to take advantage of this. It's like, it's like buying a tool for your toolbox and you're only using, one of the sockets instead of the set. So we want you to take advantage of everything that's available there in PROSIS Pro, and we don't mind helping you do that. Again, we've got the YouTube videos, so go out to tutorials and it'll show you how to do that kind of stuff. And so what I'll do now, I'm basically going to go back over to Amanda. And if we have any questions that have come up, I'll definitely help you out. And if you got any questions on PROSIS Pro, or maybe one of the features that we've talked about with one of our benefits, by all means, throw them in there. And yeah, look forward to everybody using all these updates. It's really helped us out on the tech line. So looking forward to everybody, all you guys out there using them as well. So I'll go back to Amanda and see if we got any questions.
Thanks, Rob. One question that came in, actually, it's perfect you're on the screen. They're asking about that parts and suppliers tab there in yellow, wanting to know what that is and how that works.
Sure. Let's do this. Let's go to, I'm going to go an industrial engine for an example on this particular one. So let's say you're in John Deere, and let's say you're on a 239. And let's just choose this diesel. Okay, so it's in yellow. So if you click that parts tab, what it does is it brings up manufacturers that have parts for these engines. And again, this is to help save you time. So if we go right from here and we click MaxiForce, for example, on this John Deere, it's going to go right to their website. It goes right to the 239 section of their website, and it shows you everything that's available from them for this John Deere 239. So it really saves you having to enter in more information into another browser or grabbing your catalog and having to look it up. You literally can do that right from PROSIS Pro, and it takes you right to the engine lookup. So you can see here on my screen, you've opened up another window. So it leaves our website and goes to their website. So you're on their, MaxiForce, in this example, we don't have anything to do with what they have listed in the catalog, or, we can't answer that kind of stuff, but at least PROSIS Pro will take you there and make it easier for you to look it up. So that's there for you.
Perfect. Thank you. I also had somebody ask if PROSIS includes any of the smaller industrial engines. They said like the small bore 1, 2, and 4-cylinder engines, both diesel and gas. Examples were Kubota, Kohler, Yanmar, etc.
Sure, and they do. And I'll show you those. I'll also mention too that PROSIS Pro also carries all the small bore power sport information. So like the Yamahas and that kind of stuff. So let's just use an example. They mentioned Yanmar, for example, and pretty popular is the a lot of the TNV stuff for Yanmar. So if you search that, it's going to bring up all TNV series. So the 2N TNV 70, and there's 3 pages worth, and there's all the information there for that kind of stuff. So you literally can then just click on it, and it'll bring up all the cylinder head information. There'll be block information, crankshaft. It's got all the crank specs there. So yes, it does cover that stuff, and again, the power sport stuff too. So like I mentioned, if we talk about going to maybe Honda, if we use that as an example, and click Honda and get into small stuff. So even like the small little, half-liter stuff, we click that. You can see here we've got some Honda, some of the small stuff listed there. So definitely all the small bore Kubota, because a lot of our shops, Amanda, are using, they're doing a lot of the medium duty diesel stuff, and that's pretty popular for us. So we try and get as many service manuals as we can and add that to PROSIS Pro for sure.
Awesome. Thank you. Another one that came in was asking, what does the Add Custom Information button do?
Okay, so let's go to an engine here, and I'll do that as an example. So what that does, you have the ability to be able to add custom information to PROSIS Pro and make it your own. So an example of that would be maybe you're a high performance shop doing lots of race engine stuff, and the factory clearances for oil clearances for crankshaft are not enough. You're building something that's got lots of boost, and you're trying to maybe add more clearance. So once you're in the engine, and this is the button that they're referring to, is this Add Custom Info. So if let's say we go to crankshaft, and we talked about, if you literally just click that button, you can see here how it's opened up more boxes. So let's say we want to scroll down to oil clearance for the mains. The factory clearance is 2/10 to 2 thou and 4/10. That's just not enough in this particular case for the engine that you're building. And you want your text, and you want to put in your own information here. So let's say you're going to go 3 to 3.5 thou. What you'll do is you'll save that, and you'll go OK. And now you can see on the screen in blue, the blue is your custom information. And you can go in and do that with any of the specifications within PROSIS Pro and customize it and put in there. It basically is a way for you to edit PROSIS Pro, and only you are affected. It's not like everybody else now is going to see the information that you put in there. It's only you, only your account, only your login that it's affected. So you can see there that I've created this custom info, and that's how you use that button.
Perfect. That looks like it's about it for questions. So if anyone has any other questions, you can go ahead and get them to us either in that chat box, or there will be a spot in the survey, which I'll tell you about in a minute. And as Rob also mentioned, you're welcome to call the techs anytime, and they're happy to help you out. So with that being said, thanks, Rob, for all that great information. We really appreciate it. And go ahead.
Yeah, no, you're welcome. Like I say, we I love taking PROSIS Pro questions. So on the tech line, anybody that's got questions, by all means, and I don't mind sitting down with you. Even, I work Pacific time, so for a lot of folks, that may be after work for you. If you want your own little tutorial or spend a few minutes to go through it, I'm more than happy to do that for sure.
As Robin mentioned earlier, our YouTube channel is a great resource. There is a PROSIS playlist on there that has some more in-depth tutorials on the program itself, as well as all our technical webinars and some business-related ones too. So go out to YouTube, search Engine Builders Association or AERA Engine Builders, and you'll find our page there. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, and then you'll know when we have new uploads out there and other things going on, so you don't miss anything coming down the pipe, and you have easy access to all those tutorials. And then lastly, as I mentioned, there will be a survey that pops up when you leave today. Take a moment and fill that out. Let us know how we're doing. We always love to hear from you guys what kind of information you would like to see in these webinars. And if you have any questions for us or on membership, PROSIS, anything you saw today, or anything to do with AERA, you can put that there and we'll get those answered for you. As always, thank you for attending. We know how busy you guys are, and we appreciate you taking time out of your day to attend these webinars. And if you need to get a hold of any of us, you can reach the AERA team at 815-526-7600. And you'll also see Rob and I have our email addresses listed there. Feel free to email any of us or either of us with anything you need. And if we can't answer your question, we'll pass it along to a team member who can. So as always, I hope you have a great rest of your week, and thanks again.